Let me ask you a question about since that failure led you to understand what you like in a environment or in a job. So can you talk more about what you like now? Like maybe an idea of what you like.
Well, based off of this administrative assistant job that I took, I guess I mean there's a lot that I learned from it too. Learning how to be more organized,
Mm-hmm.
learning how to network with people, um, and learning how to yeah just work with different people in general, and understanding that there's always going to be a bunch of like effective ways to do something
Mm-hmm.
and all that. And yeah, for the most part, just taking these opportunities or these experiences as a way to flourish and to understand what my likes are. So yeah, I mean, I like to multitask and be organized as much as I can. And yeah, I mean, we talk about like time management and prioritizing everything. It's very key. And yeah, just being able to continue that into my other my future jobs and all that is was very helpful. And even to this day, like not just career wise, but personally, yeah, my day is filled with trying to be as organized as I can,
Right.
uh, multitask whenever, yeah, just different obstacles come along the way, and yeah, just try to network as much as I can with other people, even during this uncertain time,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, continue this project. It's which is amazing. So
And we'll definitely need like a future episode on how to network. So be
yeah.
on the lookout for that. As far as like knowing what you like and whatnot, just
Mhm.
wanna look into a personal favorite failure of mine.
Yeah.
I believe it was 2015. I think during that time I was like bouncing everywhere. I didn't have a stable job. I think I
Mhm.
was unemployed for a couple months, which was absolutely miserable. I can't imagine people that are unemployed now. So
Yeah.
I feel your pain. So, but as far as like this it was like account. It was like kind of like an HR accounting job
Mm.
at this company. I the first time I did the interview, we went up to an elevator to this like really small room. I believe it's like literally the size of a small apartment. Um, so on one side they had three people, right? It was the manager on one side, and then you had the other two HR people and on the side, and then where I sat was like in the corner. They had to clean it up in this corner. So like in the beginning,
Oh.
I felt like it looked like a little. I felt a little isolated from
Mm.
everybody else. Because from where I sat, you couldn't see the manager because there's this wall blocking the way. You
Okay.
know, and it was hard. Like if I wanted to communicate with someone, I had to like walk all the way around. And like for other people, they can just like turn right next to them and just talk to them. And one of the weird things that I found was like, even though we were so close to each other, we're literally 10, 15 feet away, they would like just pick up the phone and call me. And I
Oh.
understand for efficiency and all that, but like
Mm.
I'm right there. So I always made it a habit to like walk over and talk and have
Mm.
human interaction. But anyways, during the job interview, I told this person like, hey, I don't have this much experience as much as you want in this area, but I'm always willing to learn. I'm willing to put in the hours. And she told me, oh, okay, no, that's fine. We're gonna teach you everything you're gonna need. I'm like, awesome. Sounds like a great environment already. But when I started working at that job, um, the manager would just like shift roles and she would be like, oh, how come you didn't do this? How come you didn't do that? We need it done by today. And in my head, I should have probably said something, but in my head, I was like, you told me you were going to walk me through this. And in hindsight, she shouldn't have hired me because I don't have the experience. So I think they just needed people. So she started getting really mad at me. And for myself, I was extremely frustrated because I don't know what the heck I'm doing. And
Yeah.
anytime I asked the manager for help, she would give me like, she would make like signs, and then she'll get frustrated herself. Every time I ask for help, she'll be like, all right, Scott, I'm coming. Give me a couple minutes. And that discouraged me to ask anyone else for help because I didn't want to seem like a failure. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
like I wasn't already good at my job, but
Yeah.
I wanted to put up an image that I was trying at least. So I remember that specific day. I was driving to work, and it was like raining. Everything. It was like all gloomy. It felt
Oh,
like an early 2000s R&B movie. I was like, oh my goodness. I woke up and I'm like, oh, I feel miserable. I believe it was a Tuesday. I just woke up all miserable and like, oh God, I do not want to be here. And I believe that I think I spent like a good 16 hours at that job. Like everybody left. My manager was like, hey, you have this deadline. Don't leave until you're done with it. And
wow.
in my head, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then again, I didn't speak up, so I take personal fault for that. Like I should have spoke up. But at the time, you're so young. You want to make an impression. You don't want to get fired. And I just remember me in being in the office at like 10 p.m. at night. I was just like I teared up. I straight man tears. I just let everything out because no one was there, and I was like, I looked out the window. It was still raining, and I'm like, I saw my reflection, you know, and I was like, man, what am I doing with my life? Is this where I want to be? Not even for the rest of my life, like
Mhm.
for the rest of the year. Actually, not even
Yeah.
for the rest of the year, for the rest of the month. Do I see myself waking up like this every single day, Monday to Friday, and my only escape is the weekend? And I didn't do anything. I stuck through with it stubbornly because I thought things were gonna change, but it came to a point where the manager was like, "Hey, we're gonna have to let you go because I don't think you're the right fit for the job." And I told her, like, she's absolutely correct. This is not the right environment for me. The people around me didn't help me that much. They all focused on their own jobs as they should. But like, no, it wasn't cultivating at all. No one, we weren't like working as a team, and like I felt isolated from the beginning. So that was probably like looking back now, like man, like I'm glad that happened to me because I didn't want to get stuck in that position. And that was probably the job that like pulled me away more from the corporate side, and now I work more, on the healthcare side, like working with people individually, actually making a difference. So from there on, like your experience, now I know what I like, and I try to stay away from offices as much as possible. And I
Yeah.
want to be with a company that cares about their people. I want to be with people that motivate each other, inspire each other, challenge one another.
Yeah.
So from that point, I'm like, even though I'll be unemployed for a while, let me pick a good company to really help develop myself. Because when you do interviews with people, not only are you doing interviews for yourself to get paid, but you're also interviewing the person interviewing you. Is that person a right
Exactly.
fit for you? Is their leadership style a right fit for you? Are they gonna manage you pretty well? How you gotta ask the question is like, is this company worth it? Is it worth putting my time here? Because time is so valuable and you'll never get it back. So you gotta spend the right time at the right place with the right people. So I'm
Exactly.
so fortunate that I cried at that office after 16 hours. I
I mean, yeah,
felt
if it's,
miserable.
yeah, I mean, if it's a job that makes you cry, it already
Yeah.
kind of says a whole lot about, yeah, what you have to do next.
I
But
think at
yeah, I
that
like,
point,
yeah. Oh, you have something?
no, and I think I was saying like at that point, like I was unemployed for a while, so I was just
Mm.
desperate for a job. And when
Yeah,
you're desperate, you'll take anything.
that's how I was with my administrative assistant job, it's like, you know, it's very competitive out there, and I mean, there may be a lot of jobs, or not even a lot of jobs. You just have to go out and try it out. And I mean, based off of our experiences, we learned, yeah, what exactly we dislike and like in the end. And I guess going back to what you were saying, speaking up and asking questions, that really stood out because, you know, at that time, I mean, you're still like young and fresh into that
Mm-hmm.
position. And that's also, I find that the perfect time to ask as many questions as you can, and also speak up because, yeah, you're still new, and that's how you learn. And but unfortunately, with the whole management system there, it was definitely tough. But I guess moving forward from that job, do you feel like you've been able to kind of, I guess, ask more questions and get help from management and all that in
Oh,
your
oh,
other?
for sure. And
Yeah.
it starts even before me getting hired. It starts at the job interview. Granted, you can only know so much, but it's always good to ask the right questions. As far as like asking what kind of questions. So one of my favorite questions to ask an interviewer, especially if I know she's gonna be my boss, is what's your like what would a successful person in my position do, or like what would I need to do to become successful at my job? And it's just like, oh yeah, you need to do this, and then I hear her list, and it's so detailed that like there's no leeway for something,
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, that's I probably might need to look into that. Or like, how's the communication, or how's the collaboration work around here? And then it's just like, oh, you're the one to do everything, and it's like, I'm not good at this. I want to collaborate with other people. And
Yeah.
like, oh, what's her communication style? If she's the one that like needs you to send a detailed report every single day, would you want to work for that boss? If someone's always like helicoptering you all the time, so those are just the little things. Like, how about